I am your social science teacher, Poonam Prasad. Today we have children, you people are knowing very well that we have completed our first chapter of civics, power sharing. But today I would like to take your agriculture that comes under your geography. People, you have completed your first chapter of geography, that is resource and its development. It was the first chapter and it was completed by Sanjay sir. So I am taking your third chapter, and the third chapter is your agriculture. You are worried, ma'am, why you are not taking second and whatsoever. I am going to tell you about this. Agriculture is the third chapter of your geography. First one is resource and its development. The second chapter is water resources. Actually, children, water resources, it is come under as a map skill only. It is analyzed on the basis of map skill only. So there is no need of going through with the chapter, because the chapter is based on the conservation of water and methods how to conserve it, rainwater harvesting systems and all. So the board has suggested that you have to take you have to analyze on the basis of the chapter on the basis of map skill only map skill, which comprises of your dams and rivers. We will take later on this chapter. So the third one is agriculture. Earlier the second chapter was named as forest and natural resources. Forest and wildlife resources. Forest and wildlife resources was not being included in your chapter. It is totally scrapped off. Okay, children. So this is the second chapter, that is water resources. But what we have to go for? The map skill only, right? Now, today I am going to take the first chapter, and the chapter is agriculture. At glance, आपको क्या क्या पढ़ना है chapter? Let's we go further. What we have to learn, children? We have to go for the definition of agriculture. Various definitions we are going to read, but basically first we have to go for the introduction, and introduction in this we have to go for the definition. The second is the types of farming. The types of farming is including your primitive subsistence farming. The second one is called as intensive subsistence farming. The features we have to go for. The third one is called as commercial farming, or what we called it as the plantation. Right, children? Fine. So then we have to go for the cropping pattern. We have to go for cropping pattern. Cropping pattern is further divided on the three. One is called as Kharif, Rabi and Zaid. We have to go for the characteristic features of these three. Then we have to go for you can say the features of major. We have to go for the features of major crops of India, that is like rice, wheat, sugarcane, maize, etc., millets and all. Then we have to go for the technological and institutional reforms. That can be taken, institutional reforms that can be taken by the government of India to improve the quality of to improve the condition, to improve the quality of the crops, to improve the condition of the farmers and all. Then last but not least, we have to go for the MAP skills. MAP skill is comprises with the highest producing crops, for example, like the region associated with the production of wheat, or you have to production of wheat or production of rice, production of tea, coffee, etc. Children, the chapter is little bit lengthy and we have to go for the deep study of the chapter. So I'll provide you the lecture as well as I'll provide you the notes based both as a notes in terms of question banks. I will provide you later on. Okay. So first we have to go for the introduction, and that is what we call it as agriculture. Now children, in this topic we are going towards the first topic, and it is called as the definition or the introduction of agriculture. This is what we call it as the definition of agriculture. Children, agriculture is, it comes under the primary activity. It comes under primary activity, the activity which is dealing with the cultivation of crops, animal rearing and fishing. It means that agriculture, it includes or it is correlated with the other subsectors also. So agriculture is a very important subsector of your primary activity. So it is not only deal with the crop production to feed the people of a country, but it is also important for the, it provides a raw material to the industries. That industries are known as agro-based industries. ये वो इंडस्ट्रीज होती हैं बेटा जो एग्रीकल्चर पे डिपेंड करती हैं, जैसे कि if I am talking about the textile industry or if I am talking about the sugar industries, these industries are the raw part of sugar is what? Sugar cane. If I am talking about the textile industry, so it is your cotton industry. So cotton is what? The raw material of the textile industry is what? Cotton. So children, all these are known as the activities which are based on the agriculture. Children, in India, not India, but if we see the developing countries, or if we see the underdeveloped countries, the main occupation is agriculture. It means that Indians' occupation, the main occupation is agriculture. India's economy is agrarian economy, right children? It means mostly more than 50% of a people are engaged in the primary activities. That activities, in this activities, mostly the agriculture is favorable. It is mostly the agriculture is favorable. So this is all about the introduction. So if we are thinking about the definition, that primary activity, it is a primary activity which deals with the cultivation of crops, animal rearing and fishing is what we call it as the agriculture. Fine children, if I am asking you a question, name the industries that are based on the agriculture for their getting the raw material. It is also called as agro-based and based industries. It can come under your 1 marks question. So your answer is what? Sugar mill, है ना? Sugar mill का क्या है बेटा? Sugar cane is the raw material. Fine. If I am saying about the textile industry, that textile industry, the raw material is cotton, I know, is cotton. So these are the industries that are based on the agriculture to get the raw material. So the importance of the agriculture is not only to feed the people of a country, but it also provides the raw material to those industries that are known as a agro-based industry. So this is a, you can say we have gone through with the first introduction of your first part of your chapter, and the first part of your chapter, that is your introduction about the agriculture along with the definition. So ultimately, if we are recapitulate the points, the agriculture is what? It is in primary activity which is based for the production of crops, rearing of animals, and you can say fishing, which is the important occupation for the people. 2/3 population are engaged in the primary activity, children. So we are saying that agriculture is not providing the food for its people, but it also provides the raw material to the industry and gain the domestic as well as the foreign revenues. The second topic is called as types of farming. Children, in our country, not only in our country but in the world, due to the climatic variation, due to the geographical variations, the landform, the soil texture, the precipitation, the temperature, the humidity, all these are the factors, the geographical as well as the non-geographical factors, ultimately leads towards what type of farming do we have to practice in a particular region or in a particular country. So on that basis, in India, if we are seeing in Indian perspective, there are different types of farming, as I have already told you in the chapter at glance, that there are the 3 types of farming. One is called as primitive subsistence farming, the second is intensive subsistence farming, and the third type of farming is called as commercial, or it is also called as the plantation type of farming. Class, this is a very important topic of your very important topic. In this, we have to go with the features, the first one, and the features of primitive subsistence farming we have to deal with. Children, this type of farming is also known as shifting cultivation. Why it is known as shifting cultivation? Later I go through with this. But first of all, just have a look of the word which is called as primitive. Primitive means traditional, old. Right? So it is practiced in, first of all, some features are, I am giving you the notes on that, but have a look on the features, that it is practiced in small patch of land. It means there is no need of having a very large land. So a small patch of land. The tools that are used by the farmers are hoe and digging sticks. It means the old, you can say the traditional methods of the equipments, or it is also called as the equipments that were used by our ancient people. And family and community are acted as a labor in it. यहाँ पे लेबर बाहर से नहीं आते, यहाँ पे जो लेबर होते हैं, they are family members or the members of the communities. They are acted as a labor. And very important one is that the rainfall, they depend on the monsoon. They depend on the monsoon as they depend on the monsoon for their irrigation purposes. If it is having a good monsoon, having a good rainfall over there in a region, the productivity increases. But the irrigation is totally depend on the monsoon still, and in the technological scenario that we are having. Yet another important feature of this is that this type of farming is not used the input which are considered as the chemical fertilizer, for example, fertilizers, pesticides, insecticides, etc. It means no technological advancement. The input is totally based on the primitive method. If the input is based on the primitive method, so output is we are not gaining it. Fine, children? So these are the important features of primitive टाइप ऑफ सब्सिस्टेंस फार्मिंग. पुराने तरीके से, पुराने पद्धति से किया हुआ आपका जो कृषि है, दैट इज व्हाट वी कॉल इट एज प्रिमिटिव सब्सिस्टेंस. जो पुराने तरीकों से, अगर क्वेश्चन कभी आता है और आपके दिमाग में आंसर्स नहीं समझ में आ रहे, पर थोड़ा सा सोचिए और ये कहिए कि पुराने समय के लोग क्या किया करते थे. कुदाल है, हल है, इन सब का इस्तेमाल करते थे. वो पेस्टिसाइड्स का नहीं इस्तेमाल करते थे. वो नेचुरल फर्टिलिटी के लिए क्या किया करते थे, दे क्लियर्ड अ पैच लैंड. मैं अभी आपको बताऊंगी इस पे. इसके अलावा जो फैमिली मेंबर्स, ऐसा नहीं कि वो बहुत ही कमर्शियली कर रहे हैं, वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ अपने आप को फीड करने के लिए. द मेन एम इज द प्रोडक्शन, बिकॉज द प्रोडक्शन इज नॉट सो यू कैन से एट अ वेरी लार्ज अमाउंट. प्रोडक्शन जितना भी होगा जस्ट टू फीड द मेंबर ऑफ द फैमिली और जस्ट टू फीड द मेंबर ऑफ द कम्युनिटी. दैट्स इट. अगेन आई एम सेइंग दैट फॉर द रेनफॉल they depend on the monsoon. Now, children, as the same primitive subsistence farming, the other features are, it is known as a slash and burn. It is known as slash and burn. So slash and burn, a type of agriculture, and it is also known as shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation, before you have to say that this type of farming gives low productivity. Why this type of farming gives low productivity? Because of the using of primitive tools, and because of not proper irrigation methods, not proper chemical fertilizers or pesticides. These type of technology are not utilized by the people, so the productivity is very much low. Now come to the point, and the point is called as shifting cultivation. Children, shifting cultivation means, for example, there is a land. The community members or the family members, they are growing the grains over there. Basically what type of the grains they are having the millets. ये लोग क्या millets यूज करते हैं, जो कि कोर्स ग्रेन होते हैं. इसके अलावा राइस है, the main the cereals they are getting with it. Some pulses are also vegetables. These are the important crops usually produced by the people. The regions they belongs to, कौन से region में इस टाइप के farmings को किया जाता है. तो we are getting the hilly areas like northern eastern part of India, MP, Jharkhand, etc. So these are the areas in which the primitive subsistence farming are practiced. Now, my question is why this is called as slash and burn and why it is known as the shifting cultivation. Children, this is the primitive, you can say slash and burn. इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि for example, this is a patch of land, right? ये patch of land productivity हो रही है इसमें. Productivity हो रही है, but एक time period के बाद the ground or the field shows less productivity. Why? Because gradually it become unfertile, है ना. ये ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस करने के बाद क्या होगा, क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन करने के बाद टू गेन आउटपुट, उसके बाद क्या होगा, ये धीरे धीरे अपनी फर्टिलिटी को क्या करेगा, वो रिड्यूस करेगा, वो लॉस करेगा. इसके लिए जो पीपल हैं, द फार्मर्स हैं, व्हाट दे आर बेसिकली, ये लोग ट्राइबल पीपल्स जो नोमैडिक्स होते हैं, वो लोग क्या करते हैं, इनको जला देते, इनको काटते हैं और काटने के बाद क्या कर देते हैं, वो उसको जला देते हैं, है ना. दे स्लैश इट एंड दे बर्न इट एंड दे शिफ्ट टू द डिफरेंट पैच ऑफ लैंड फॉर sometimes in terms of 1 year to 5 years to 3 years to 5 years, वो वहाँ पे they shift to the next patch of land. In the meantime, these areas regain their fertility naturally. वो क्या करते हैं, वो areas जो होते हैं, they regain their fertility what? Naturally. This is why the method is known as shifting cultivation, or the method is also called as slash and burn. In India, we are having the various region of India are having their name of slash and burn in their own languages. Like Kuruva is in Jharkhand. If we are saying the Jhuming type, Jhuming, Jhumming, Jhuming sort of is known as slash and burn, is known as shifting cultivation in northern eastern part of India. Apart of this also, various countries, they also practice this sort of cultivation till date. So this is all about the primitive subsistence farming. Children, some questions I would like to ask you, that what type of the crops the primitive subsistence farmers are using to grow. This is like millets, rice, pulses, vegetables, etc. Name the regions which are practiced in India and in the other part of the countries. So we have later go with the notes. The second type of farming is known as intensive subsistence farming. You have heard a word, ICU, Intensive Care Unit. Intensive Care Unit. Intensive means what? Gehen. It means we have to put the efforts to save the patient. And the ICU is totally equipped with the machines and all. Fine, beta. Here it is also, the word is called as intensive subsistence farming. Basically, we have a look on the features. So high population, this type of farming are utilized on high population pressure areas. Fine. They put the pressure on the land. Why? I'll just give you the reason behind of this. It is a labor intensive. Apart from the family members, they hired, you have heard about the word peasants, right? Then high doses of biochemicals are utilized by the farmers. Proper irrigation system, both rainfalls, monsoonal rainfalls, the farmers that depends on the monsoonal rainfall, as well as the canal system, the wells are there. The proper irrigation system is very well equipped. The major crops grown by the farmers in the intensive one is rice, sugarcane, soybean, etc. And the region where this sort of farming are utilized, it is or practice is UP, Punjab, some eastern part of Rajasthan, MP. So this is all about the features of intensive. Children, I am here written a word, it is called as pressure on land. They put the pressure on land. Children, you have heard about a word called as right of inheritance. It is a right of inheritance. Right of inheritance means, before I would like to go for this, I just brief you with the diagram. Class, in the features of intensive subsistence farming, I have given you a word called as right of inheritance. Children, if we consider the property scenario of the village or the rural India, अगर हम ये कहें कि रूरल इंडिया में ऐसा क्या है जो कि पेरेंट अपने बच्चों को देता है, तो आप कहेंगे लैंड. लैंड वॉज कंसिडर्ड एज अ wealth for the farmers, right children? They are considered as a wealth for the farmers. For example, here it is a farmer. उनके पास बहुत बड़ी लैंड है, बट ड्यू टू द राइट ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस, मतलब जो वंशज को हम देने का अधिकार देते हैं, जो उनकी प्रॉपर्टी देने का अधिकार देते हैं, उसमें जो उनका जो अधिकार है, उस राइट के आधार पे हमने ये कहा कि ए फार्मर के पास इतनी बड़ी लैंड है, उनके 3 बच्चे हैं. हाउ मेनी चिल्ड्रन आर देयर? 3. फाइन. 1, 2 and 3. जब इनके बच्चे हुए, फॉर एग्जाम्पल one is having 3 children, two is having 2 children, 3 is having 4 children. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fine. Then the right of inheritance is what? Successive हो रहा है, ये आगे बढ़ता चला जा रहा है. फिर इनके बच्चों के सब अपने अपने बच्चे होने, अगेन दे आर डिवाइडिंग द प्रॉपर्टी, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग द लैंड्स इनटू देयर सक्सेसर. फिर इनके बच्चे, इन्होंने अपना फर्दर डिवीजन किया. अल्टीमेटली क्या हुआ? अल्टीमेटली एक फार्मर के लिए उसका लाइवलीहुड क्या होता है? एक लैंड. The big land is now turned up into a small patch of land. It means it is turned up into you can say the yield per hectare. Fine. So यही पे farmers is putting their all the efforts on it. They put the inputs on it to gain more and more output. That is why this is called as intensive subsistence farming. And the right of inheritance is putting pressure on the farmer to grow more and more or to raise its productivity. Fine children? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि इस डायग्राम के हिसाब से जो राइट ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस था, उसने एक बहुत बड़ी फील्ड को कई टुकड़ों में डिवाइड कर दिया, जो कि एक पिता ने अपने पुत्रों को देना शुरू किया, उनके बच्चों ने अपने बच्चों को देना शुरू किया, उनके बच्चों ने अपने बच्चों को देना शुरू किया, और ये चीज अल्टीमेटली क्या हुआ? वो एक लास्ट में जाके लास्टली इट बिकम्स अ स्मॉल पैच ऑफ लैंड. ठीक है. अब लाइवलीहुड तो फार्मर का क्या होगा? फार्मिंग ही होगा. नाउ द फार्मर हैज टू पुट व्हाट? ऑल द एफर्ट्स ऑन दिस स्मॉल पैच ऑफ लैंड टू गेन more and more productivity. That is why it is called as the right of inheritance, and it put the pressure on the land to yield more and more. So this is what about the intensive subsistence farming. Children, in our next class we will discuss on the commercial and plantation and the cropping pattern. Is that clear? Till then, goodbye.